Hey guys, welcome to a new visual novel, Without Within. I was going to do Katawa Shoujo like I've been saying, but whenever I started to record it a few minutes ago, I just remembered that there is nudity in the game, no matter whose route I go down. And I honestly do not have the editing skills nor the programs either to be able to, edit the video to bring up a censor block or something. So maybe one day in the future, distant future, I'll be able to play through it, because there'll be the reporters who'll get like, oh my god, there was a 30-second scene with the painted tits on my screen, I must report it. So yeah, we're going to do Without Within. I believe this was free on Steam, but I don't actually remember. Okay, Venti. The chants of my fans echoed through the door in front of me. One of my two bodyguards wrapped his hand around the doorknob. Please prepare yourself, Miss Venti. Once I open this door, we'll head straight out for our limo. The guard had no reason to fret. I had long since grown used to these crowds. Still, I nodded to put him at ease. After taking a deep breath, and he pushed the door open. She ain't bad looking. A crowd of hundreds raised their cameras. As soon as I stepped out, my guards waved their arms to shoo them away. This red carpet was for me to walk on. After all, I blew a kiss for these starstruck peasants. Miss Venti, please, let us hurry, my bodyguard said. Too bad for him, I strutted alone like a model on a catwalk. A group of reporters managed to worm through the crowd. They now tiptoed over my guards in hopes of scoring that exclusive. Venti, how does it feel to have won another Calligrapher of the Year award? A reporter asked me. Before I could answer, another dozen people shouted over each other, hoping for my attention. Venti, may I get a photo with you? Can you sign some autographs for my kids, and two for me, of course? I can't believe I'm studying these close to Venti. My fans stamped their duty shoes all over the red carpet. Finally, my bodyguards pulled out their pepper sprays to keep these fans in check. A young male reached in my direction, despite having sprayed aim at his face. Rather admirable for a peasant. I extended a hand for this female friend to kiss. Unfortunately for him, he fainted at the sight of my perfectly polished nails. I reached my limousine at last. My bodyguard opened the door for me, and as I climbed in, my trailing fans snapped as many photos as they could. Miss Venti, the crowd chanted as the car window pulled. How odd, they never referred to me as Miss. Oh, that my graceful presence must have been too much for their sanity, these poor things. Miss Venti. Dot, dot, dot. And it was all a dream? Oh. Well, I had fun while it lasted. At least I got to ride in my limousine for a good 30 seconds in real life. My only registered vehicle was, my 10-year-old bicycle. My apartment had no space for a car anyway. Actually, this single room was with cracked walls. It might be an insult to the word apartment. Pull out these curtains for a spectacular $1 view, featuring a sewage pipe and a wall tainted with yellow. Just open the window if you wish to smell the sewage as well. A breathtaking experience. By the way, sorry, I needed to take back the one-room thing. This place actually had 2 rooms. Thank you very much. The second room happened to be a toilet. That is still counted, right? The toilet clogs 2 times a month, so be careful when using it. Miss Venti. A woman's voice echoed from outside. She was no fan, but rather my landlady. I glanced over at my clock. 6 a.m. Waiting another hour or two would be nice. She probably just wanted to tell me about another rent rise. Nothing good ever came out of that woman's mouth. I would be better off staying in bed. Oh, cool. I get options. Rise and shine probably be the best idea. Calmliness, I changed into... I'll say it after I finish this. Something more inappropriate. The landlady still kept knocking. I said I was coming, did I not? Maybe I should walk out naked if that was what she dug. If there was a game, we might get a sale boost too. Okay, just wanted to say this because I forgot to say at the beginning of the video. The only time I'll ever do a visual novel that I have never played... the only time I'll ever do a visual novel that I've played before for YouTube is Everlasting Summer. because I liked it so much and there was different endings, so I decided to do it for YouTube for the ending I never did. And Katawa Shoujo, once I ever get the editing skills, to censor out the nudity when it comes up. But other than that, I will be doing visual novels I have never touched, like this one and that Shanghai. And also the DLC to Everlasting Summer. I didn't play that before I did it for YouTube. So yeah, I have no idea what kind these are going to be, or the length or anything. Knowing Steam, there probably won't be no nudity, because they'll probably patch it, and there'll be a downloadable patch somewhere for you to uncensor it. But yeah, let's get back to this. Good morning, Miss Vinity. Well, Miss Venti, the landlady said. I must ask, what's with that hair? It looks like you just woke up. That's because I did. It's a waste for young ladies like you to sleep away your youth. The landlady shook her head. It'd be a lot easier if they would have, like, names or something on the very left side to show who's talking. She had no right to preach me like this. I wanted to tell her, but decided against it, as doing so would give her an excuse to lecture me further. With her size, if I enraged her, she would squash me into Venti-flavored pancake. That sounds delicious. Miss Venti, your rent was due 3 days ago. Oh, well, at least there's no rent increase. So, sorry, madam. My next paycheck will come after tonight's shift, so I'll pay you first thing tomorrow morning. The lady grunted. All right, just know that if this keeps up, I'm going to find somewhere else to live. She spun around to leave. Once she disappeared behind the corridor, I kicked my door shut, causing a piece of my cracked wall to fall off. I tried shoving the piece back into place. My effort resulted in more wall fragments flaking off. Great, the landlady will make me pay for that next month. Once I become an accomplished calligrapher, she would beg for a chance to shine my shoe. Hey, I sounded a bit ranty before, but that was never my intention. A lot of famous people had horrible beginnings. I would follow in their footsteps, but first I needed to put it in the work. That's a nice drawing. And so I returned to the busiest street in my area with my calligraphy spread before me. I sat on the concrete and rested my back against the fence. Car horns blared behind me, mixed with people shouting things about each other's mothers. These cars kept expelling fumes that made me choke. One of the main things I dealt with in the name of art, pedestrians, took up almost every inch of space on the street ahead. Surely this would be the day when somebody spotted my talent. As always, no one afforded me anything more than a passing glance, and my soon dwindled, let me be honest. I never expected to be showered with praise by every head who passed here. What was that old saying? 10% of the people you reach out to will buy your work. I could live with that, even just 1%. Please, anything but 0. I wanted to discriminate these people. They had no idea how much sweat I poured into these calligraphies. What is a calligraphy anyway? I know that may sound like a stupid question, but I never heard of that before. I don't want to be a bad type of person. This seems like a game that might have multiple endings that depending on what choice you make. So it's actually worth a second playthrough. I don't know. We're gonna preserve. I decided to keep these displeasures to myself. People often said patience would be rewarded. I wondered if my practice would ever become worthwhile. Just as I thought this, a man paused to look at my calligraphies. He had a bucket of fried chicken in his hand. The smell made my mouth water. As the man eyed my works one by one, I felt my cheeks heating from anticipation. At last, someone who spared me more than a moment with my works. This must be my reward. The timing could hardly be more perfect. I summoned the courage to speak to the man, but he spoke first. You're charging for these? I managed a tiny nod. The man snorted. I would never hang these on my wall, even if you gave them to me for free. Seriously, this is the most shameless display I've ever seen. Trolls online were one thing. Confronting one in real life was a rarity. Judging by from the man's scrawny arms, I bet I could overpower him with ease. Then he would know just how big of a blunder he had made. Nah, we're gonna restrain. Folks always said to ignore trolls. I clenched my teeth and stayed put. Yeah, you gotta ignore the trolls. The trolls are usually 13-year-old kids in their parents' basement, or 35-year-old overweight fat asses playing World of Warcraft. It's true. That's what trolls usually are. You don't see everyday people being a troll. Anyways, I clenched my teeth and stayed put. After chuckling in my face, the man strutted off, determined to prove him wrong. I continued to sit and wait for potential customers. Another 1,000 people walked by without sparing me a look. Letting train here would be any longer, a waste of time. As I packed my things, insisted I was leaving because my part-time job started in an hour. Deep inside, I knew that man's words had rocked my confidence. Giving up on calligraphy would mean I had wasted all this time over nothing. Yet, if I lacked a gift, preserving might make things worse. Tears rolled in my eyes, and I clenched my fist to hold them back. Speaking of tears, I heard a kid crying within the crowd. Looked like he had lost child on our hands. Some pedestrians shot him glances, but none of them offered more than that. These were really horrible people. To cheer myself up, I told myself I would never want my calligraphy to be owned by people like that. I should help the kid, but that would mean being late for my job. See, the two outcomes that come to this. What if I'm late, and that means I lose my job and I'll have to find a new place to live? Well, if I help them, maybe their mother or parent will notice my calligraphies and want to buy one. I'm going to have to help them. If I judge others for abandoning a child, then did the same myself, I would be a jerk and a hypocrite with a sigh. I walked up to the boy. There, it's okay. Did you lose your mummy? The boy was sobbing too hard to answer. I leaned in to stroke his back with one hand and his head with the other. Let me know if you lost your mummy, okay? I'll help you find her, so there's no need to be scared. The kid managed a nod at least, and I whispered good boyness to his ear. What's your mummy's name? Hungry. Her name was Hungry? The boy's tummy growled, and I realized that what he meant. Oh, well, how about I buy you a sandwich? The kid shook his head. I want ice cream. Hey, kid, ice cream is more of a dessert, actually. I want ice cream. And so ice cream it was. One for him and none for me. The money came out of my pocket, of course. My poor, poor wallet. But this kid could have eaten the whole thing rather than let half of it melt on his shirt. Jesse, the boy said. That's my mommy's name. Jesse, I called as I strode along the street. Now people stared at me more than ever. Enough to make me blush, in fact. Maybe I should try shutting Jesse at random. Next time I sold my calligraphy set. The sky turned orange as time ticketed by. Yes, I knew my shift started half an hour ago. Stop reminding me. Everyone squeezed through the crowd and scurried towards us. She ran past the red light, nearly getting hit by a truck in the process. Mommy! The boy shook free of my hand and rushed into his mother's embrace. After muttering apologies to her son, the woman gazed towards me. I thank you so much for your help. You're wonderful, just wonderful. A torrent of praises curled my lips into a stupid grin. Anyone would have done the same thing. Please, if there's anything I can do in return, just let me know, the mother said. Actually, there is something I need help with. And the mother nodded. Anything in my power, miss. But which way back to the train station? This ain't bad so far. I'm guessing this one actually has a plot, though. Sharingan didn't really have much of a plot, but this one, I guess our goal is to become a famous calligrapher or whatever. I like how the backgrounds on this are animated, too. This is could be a pretty good experience, I guess. The sky had gone dark by the time I arrived at work. I opened the restaurant door gingerly to avoid making any noise. Staff mode switched on. They call me Ninja Venti for a reason. What's Venti? The voice of my boss made me nearly jump onto the ceiling fan. Sorry, I wanted to explain. But my split at me and tongue slurred out. Well, just syllables. My explanation was in there somewhere, probably, maybe. I received an earful from my boss, but at least I got to keep my job. Okay, at least I got to keep it. Several colleagues shot me frowns for not being here during such a busy period. In the end, I took all the blame without complaint. Well, at one point, I locked myself inside a toilet and screamed into the bowl. Also, might or might not have fantasized about dunking my workmate's head into the toilet. That was me for long to know, though. At least I earned the paycheck needed to keep my landlady quiet for another month. After the month after that, we would have to see when the time came. All I wanted was to pursue my art, but reality kept pressuring me towards finding a second job. On my way home, I spotted a banner for an upcoming visual novel named Princess Aria. Aria? The game had long been hyped in every forum I knew. Amazing art along with a cast of famous voice actors. The writer and composer were big names too. For Princess Aria, have to have it added this big. There must be a lot of money put in behind the project. The way for the spinner hung high gave me the sense it was extra important. Bright lights shone on the prince's face to impress potential players. Yes, that was. I'm terrible at reading today, like usual. Yes, that was what I really needed. If I had a banner like that, no doubt people would line up to buy my calligraphy. I could already imagine how folks would react as I walked along the streets. Hey, I think that was Venti. No, wow, no way. You mean that famous calligrapher I see on all those banners? Yeah, she must be really good. Maybe we should ask her for her autograph. My agent would then step in to speak on my behalf. Please line up in an orderly fashion, everyone. How much for an autograph? Shut up and take my money. A great meme from Futurama. My agent nodded in response. Autographs are available for $100. Thanks. What's with that dude? Kind of reminds me of Light Yagami with glasses. And a little bit darker hair and different color tie. That would be $100, thanks, the game shop owner said. Princess Aria cost twice what I predicted. About the game, I would have too little left for rent. I'm in my wallet, hoping I might have more cash on hand. And when it turned out I had less, actually. I hung my head and the storekeeper sighed. His arched brows pressured me to buy a game. I did ride 3 trains to get here. Might as well pick something up. I was going to ask how much money I had. He shook his head. Certainly pulled out a different game from under the table. He brushed away the dust on it so I could see the cover. The title read Sunflower War, some visual novel about the battlefield. Copyright 1997. The bottom read, no wonder it was so cheap. Art by Invert Mouse. Whoever the heck that was. The front cover would fit perfectly in a kindergarten classroom. I flipped the case to see what was highlighted on the back. The game supported up to 640 by 480 resolution. Truly the principle of technology. The shopkeeper grimaced. He must have sensed I wanted to say no. His stare made my palms stained with sweat, and I ended up buying the game. Dealing with folks like that had always been a weakness of mine. Remind me to never visit this store again. I never knew that they actually sold visual novels in stores. That might be like an Asia only type thing, or Japanese shops. But I never seen anywhere actually selling disc-based visual novels. With heavy strides, I returned to my apartment. 0 calligraphy sales. Late for work, and with rent topped off by blowing cash on some game I had no interest in. What I really wanted to play was Princess Aria. Forcing myself to suffer anything else would just upset me further. Play it, she might think, hey, it's not that bad. Sorry, and keep sniffing. Sorry about that. Playing it might, I don't know, she might like it, but we're gonna play it. I did spend my money on Sunflower War. Might as well give it a go. The day left me pretty drained, so the relic of a game will do a good job putting me to sleep. I switched on my laptop and inserted the disc, which I partly hoped would fail to load from old age. Too bad it worked just fine. All you gotta do is run it in compatibility mode. No doubt a lot of people were loving Princess Aria right now. Meanwhile, I was enjoying this 640 by 480 godsend, no voice acting neither. Its illustrations looked like they were done by a child. I was better off closing my eyes and imagining my own artworks. The class feet stripped to her knees. As I read along, I painted an image of the scene in my head. The face wrestled as we waded through. We paused once every few steps, fearing there might be snakes hiding among the bushes. Somehow we managed to survive the evening. The sun surged on beyond the horizon, outlining the earth with an orange glow. Slowly the blue sky emerged and vanquished the darkness that had haunted us. As light bathed the soil, I found myself in a field of sunflowers. I imagined this place that looked far more terrifying. The anxiety had merely been playing tricks on me. I drew a breath to savor the morning fragrance in the distance. Birds chirped as if applauding our survival. I could see it, not only that, but touch, hear, and smell too, an experience crafted by my imagination. The image rivaled the strokes of any artist, and it belonged to me alone. This fulfillment inspired me to take things further. The blast of gunfire deafened us as we dove behind the wall. A bullet whizzed past the tip of my helmet. Sam had passed this helmet onto me with her dying breath. I would carry on her legacy. The desert heat pinched sweat out from every pore. I desperately wanted to empty this water bottle down my throat, but with no help in sight, I must conserve every drop. Joe's eyes closed, this time never to reopen. Despite our promise to survive together, only I managed to live. How I wished I could take her place. I finished reading Sunflower War right as the clock struck 3 a.m. While so many people had missed this classic left me dumbfounded. Actually, that would be a lie, as I too have every intention of tossing this game aside. I kept demanding excitement without offering an ounce of passion in return. If I played my part, I might be able to discover so much more. As Sunflower Wars credits rolled, I realized just how small the development group was. They probably knew they stood no chance against the bigger studios, yet they still did their best data technologies to deliver a vision they believed in. Well, I don't think 1997 had too much competition in visual novels. The happiness they felt when working on the project poured out of every line in this game. I could gaze right into their hearts. The thing I had long neglected. Wow, this is actually a really cool visual novel. Mummy, Daddy, and I don't know if Japanese people say mummy like they do in the UK. Oh well. Venti, what is this, darling? What is it, darling? Look, it's my calligraphy. Honey, it's calligraphy, but that's great. I think you have a lot of talent. Hee hee, this is so much fun. I'm going to become a calligrapher. I forgot the last time I found joy in calligraphy. Every stroke these days felt like a grocery chore. All I obsessed over was how much, or rather how little, people paid attention to my efforts. My work no longer possessed heart and failed to notice it. Time to do something about that. I could hardly wait to start. After all, I chose this path because I loved it. And I like this little illustration, beta art, whatever they want to call it, after every scene. Next day, I ventured outside with a new set of calligraphies. Though I made no sales thus far, I still found myself beaming. That might explain why some people smiled back. Perhaps it was the weather, but I swore everyone felt warmer today. Mommy, there she is, the ice cream lady. A boy jerked his mother in my direction. It was that kid I helped out yesterday. The mother and I exchanged nods. Honey, the lady has a name. Is she the color ice cream lady? What's her name then? Oh, well, sorry, what is it? It's Venti. The mother slapped her boy in the back. Say, her name is Miss Venti. Mommy, can we buy one of these doodles from the ice cream lady? Doodle must be another word for the top of the line calligraphy. No other explanation would restrain me from shaking the brain out of this boy. My name was nowhere inside that little brain anyway. The mother took her wallet and her face scrunched up the way mine often did. All good, madame. I knew it felt good to be living on the edge of being homeless. Please. The boy nagged on. This showed why I would never have kids. Relentlessly relented at last and bought one of my works. Guess the boy wanted to repay my kindness. I gave his hair ruffles thanks. After flushing his missing tooth to grin, his mother pulled mother back into the crowd. Well, at least I scored better marks than yesterday. See, I knew helping that kid would be a good idea. If I just went to work instead of helping him, I wouldn't have been able to sell this. Another man strolled toward me. Wow, I was on a roll now, with my heart on my side. My fame and fortune had arrived. Clean my shoes, peasants. Hey, it's you again, the man said. Oh, the troll from yesterday. I calmed my thoughts to avoid causing a scene. Maybe the guy came to apologize. Even a creep like him must know how rude he had been. Yes, my roar had cleansed him of all evil thoughts. Go on, empty wallet of my greatness. Wow, these new scribbles are even worse than the ones you brought last time. ... Wow, what a jerk. Somehow I turned into an internet celebrity. Did she really attack and someone recorded it? And is that really Invert Mouse from the guys who did the original novel? Top comment. Damn, Snap! Wow, she went full crazy. LOL. Triangle mouth that. Okay, Illuminati, that's funny. That's funny. She'd be like, well, you know, bye. I don't know how good this would work in other languages for this visual novel, because this is how... Well, like, this must be a good time to look for that second job. Thank you for playing. Was that it? Really? That was it? Well, guys, that was Without Within. I guess I'll look into Steam to see if there's like a sequel or a part 2 or something. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope there's another one of these, because this was really fun and really short.